Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions of bettor. Another very beautiful Thursday morning, and once again we're back with our predictions as usual. We always look at football matches that are happening across the globe, and also getting the past results for each of these teams. Using those results, we always use it to come up with the verdicts, the best possible verdict for each of these games that are happening today. And before we head on, we'll talk about yesterday's game. We saw that yesterday was actually, very fantastic day for us. We won every single game that we predicted yesterday. It was a very good game, and you have no excuse. I don't know why you didn't play that game yesterday, and you would have, actually won a lot yesterday. So, yeah, don't miss out on our games. Hopefully today we are going to do so very well again. All right, in a short while, we'll be looking at the matches one after the other. And I want to ask you, of course, who are coming across our videos for the first time. If you're yet to subscribe, take our time to hit the subscription button right now so that you won't miss out on our subsequent football matches that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right. That being said, without further ado, we head to the business of the day. And it is starting with the very first match in the Switzerland Super League, right? Where we'll have young boys who'll be up against Lausanne. Okay, for young boys in the last 6 matches, there are such stats. I've seen them winning 1 game and drawing 2, but also losing 3 out of the last 6 matches that they had. And the we side Lausanne as well have won just 1 and 2, also 2 draws, losing 3 matches as well in the last 6 games that they had so far. All right, when you take a look at the performances for both sides, you can, from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, young boys have been able to done so well from home, winning 7 matches and drawing 2 games in the last 10 home games. They've also lost 1 out of the last 10 home matches that they have so far. And away side, Lausanne have won 3 games from away. They've also had 2 draws as well as 5 losses in the last 10 away games that they have so far. But when you look closely at on the scoreline, you can see that for the young boys in the last 2 home games that they had, it has always been both teams scoring. And away side, Lausanne, in the last 5 away games that they had, I've seen them scoring from away, and it has actually produced BTS, both sides scoring 5 times in the last 5 times out of 5. As a matter of fact, 7 times out of the last 10 away games that they had, it has also produced over 2.5 as well as both sides scoring. And when you look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, it was a Lausanne who won the last meeting by 5 goals to 0 against the young boys on that occasion. But prior to that, the other games that they had also produced both sides scoring 8 times out of the last 10 meetings have actually produced both sides scoring rather, and we expect to see that repeating itself here. We expect to see both sides scoring in this one as well. It is a go BTS, both sides to score. That's our verdict for that very game. Okay, and the next is in Poland Ekstraklasa plus Poland First Division, where we have Wizo Wolodz will be up against Legia Warszawa. All right, when you look at the last stats for the home side, Lords, they've actually won 2 matches and a draw in the last 6 games. They've had 3 losses as well. And we said Legia Warszawa have won 4 games and they've lost 2 matches out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. All right, when you look at how the both sides have fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side Lords have had 3 victories and 3 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've also lost 4 matches out of those, and the away side, on the other hand, have managed 5 victories in the last 10 away games. And they've had a draw as well as 4 losses in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And as a matter of fact, the last 5 away games that they had, saw them winning those 5, including a win against Chelsea on that occasion. That tells you that this side has been doing very well from away. And the last time both teams met, it was Warszawa who won by 2 goals to 1. They played from home on that very occasion. But as a matter of fact, Legia Warszawa have actually dominated the last 4 meetings, winning 3 times out of 4. Against this very side. So in this very one, we are definitely going for the away side, who will be looking for a win here in order to keep their very slim chance of qualifying for Conference League alive. So it is our away side to win out shortly. That's what we expect for this very game. Okay, and the next game is in Switzerland, First Division, where we'll have another King who will be up against a Diga Force. Okay, for North King in the last 6 matches, it is 2 wins and a draw, as well as 3 losses in the last 6 games. And we side at Diggerford have had just a single win, a draw, as well as 4 losses out of the last 6 games that it had so far. when you take a look at their performances from home and away basis, you can see the home side North King have had 7 victories and a draw, as well as 2 losses in the last 10 home games that they had. And the away side Diga have managed to achieve 4 victories and 3 draws, losing 3 matches in the last 10 away games that they had so far. As a matter of fact, the last 2 away games that they had produced lots of goals, and we are going with goals verdict in this one. Also noting that the last meeting between the two sides, which happened in March, have produced two goals each of the teams. So we will expect to see lots of goals higher, and it is over 2.5, a minimum of 3 goals to appear in this very encounter. That's what we expect for that very game. Over 2.5, that's our verdict. And the next, also in the Swedish, first division, where we have Venlo, who will be up against Malmo. Okay, for Venlo, they have only managed a single draw in the last 6 matches, but have lost 5 games out of those. And away side Malmo have won 2 games and 2 draws, also losing 2 in the last 6 encounters. And looking at how the two teams fared from home and away basis, you can see Venlo playing from home have won 3 games and a draw, but have also lost 6 matches in the last 10 home matches. As a matter of fact, the last 4 home games that they had, sort of losing all 4 home games. And away side Malmo have managed to achieve 4 victories from away. They've also had 2 draws in the last 10 away games. So they've lost 4 games as well. So as a matter of fact, it is a 40% victory for the away side in the last 10 away games that they have so far. But the last away game they had was against Diga, and they won by 4 goals to 1 against Diga on that occasion. So in this very one, also noting the fact that the last meeting between the two sides saw them playing out a 1-1 draw, but prior to that we saw Malmo defeating this side from away by 4 goals to 0, and that's exactly what we expect in this very one. The away side are dominating and winning outright here. It is away side to win. That's our value for that very game. And then next, which happens to be the last for today, is in Saudi Pro League, where we have Al Raid who will be up against Al Ittihad. Okay, Al Raid, the home side, have had just a single victory in the last 6 matches. They've also lost 5 games out of those 6 games that they had in recent times. And that way side, Al Ittihad, very strong side, having won 4 matches in the last 6 games. Also a draw as well as 1 loss in the last 6 games. But that won 4 wins in all of the last 6 matches. All right, and looking at how they fared from home and away basis, you can see that the home side, Al Raid, have not been able to win a single match in the last 10 home games. The best they could muster was 2 draws and 8 losses out of the last 10 home matches that they have so far. That's a very poor side. And Al Ittihad, the away side, have had 3 victories and as well as 5 draws in the last 10 away games. They've also had 2 losses, in the last 10 away games. Last time both teams met, Al Ittihad beating this very side 4-1. And as a matter of fact, last 10 meetings I've seen Al Ittihad always winning against this very side. In the last 10 head-to-head meetings between the two sides, it has always been Al Ittihad who have actually won on several occasions against this very side, and it has produced 4 draws. So it is 6 wins for Al Ittihad and 4 draws, and there have not been a time Al Raid actually won against Al Ittihad in the last 10 meetings between the two sides. So in this one, we're expecting the away side to take today and win out shortly, and we win. That's our verdict, and that will bring our predictions for you today on BetCraft to conclusion. We wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Remember to play responsibly, as these are football games. Sometimes it may not be exactly what it presents. All right, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions, so do not miss out. But until that time, keep winning.